Are you about to press record?
I already pressed it.
Oh, damn, you got all this background stuff? Where my background singer?
This episode of Marsha's Plate is sponsored by the Transgender District and the House of Tulip. Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond, and oh my God, this is going to be a great motherfucking show. First of all, Madison, let me tell you, you can cuss, you can do whatever what you want here. You can, and
Are you sure now? Before I begin,
I'm very sure.
Okay, I'm gonna begin, and then I'm not gonna stop until you be like, "Hey, girl, hey, cut the shit out."
So, what we try to do here on Marsha's Plate is try to give y'all. I don't just be having y'all be recommending some people, and I'll be like, I'm not just having anybody on the show because some people think they're doing stuff and ain't really doing shit.
Right.
And so, or they're mimicking what somebody else has already done, or they're trying to be in the lane that somebody has already carved. And so one thing that I love is a bitch that know her lane, that expands her lane into something new, that just, you know, that just is that bitch in her own right. And so you are definitely one of those people.
Listen, Diamond, before you even keep on elaborating about the old dirty TS, I want to say that, to be honest with you, and this is some real bitch shit, give a fuck about a nigga shit. You, ma'am, you are the reason why I have a YouTube channel. You are. And I say this is because you were conducting transgender interviews and things like that and bringing trans awareness. I'm sorry, there's magic being done at the house, so you'll hear a lot of stuff. You know, I'm about to break these girls' face, crack these girls' faces and skull in the fall, but it's going on now. That's another stuff that we'll talk about after that red dot is off. But you're one of the girls, well, not one of. Let me separate you from everybody else who I see and just singly come on and say you, ma'am, are one of the girls. You are the girl that is the reason why that I got a YouTube channel, and it was because I think Jade was telling her story about what had happened after the fire in her house, and I was like, wait a minute now, girl. You know, that ain't how that, I mean, that's how some of it happened. That's not how it happened with me. And I felt slighted a little bit away. But I want to say thank you, because if it was not for you hosting, you know, a place for trans women to come and tell their stories, I don't think TS would have even, you know, matured into anything outside of the secular life, because it was you. It was your channel. And I followed you, and I started seeing you, and I'm not just pulling your leg here, girl. You know, the first reason you had seen me in other space, occupying other space in the adult space, but the first time that you had actually seen me was in a response, was in a comment under your video with Jade, and that's was like, I said, oh no, I'm finna start me a YouTube channel because the girl's got to have her name together, you know. And then from there, I blossomed into, you know, because even Miss Eve didn't have it. You know, T.S. Eve is my mother, and may she rest in peace. But she didn't even have a YouTube channel. It was you, like you pioneered the black girls. Well, from what I seen, the black trans girls into coming into YouTube, and I didn't know anything about making any YouTube money. I didn't know anything about even what it was to even have a channel. I saw you, and I don't think people give you enough of your pioneering grace and your pioneering flowers, because you were the girl that I saw. Like, and no tea, no shade. I love girls of all races, all this, but I'm a black girl. And you can look around and you can see, you know, you can see the white girls and the Spanish girls, and you know what I'm saying, no shade, no tea, no shade to them, but you can see them flourishing and doing things, and you don't really know how to do that. But then when you see one of your own girlfriends, you're like, wait a minute. And so you planted a seed in me to be like, let me get out here and really shake, rattle, and roll. Like, not when I get started, let me get on it. The same way when Eve planted that seed in me to be into the adult secular world, I was like, let me reroute it and just get in my own space and live in that. And I want to say thank you. And I gotta say this, and then I'm gonna turn it back on you because I can't. They say I'm a narcissist girl and I take over everything, but I have to get this out. You put that in me. I stayed in my name, and one time I think you were mad at me about something that I did or said, and you or my representation in the thing, and you spoke out a little bit about it, and it hurt my feelings because I took what you said as, because you were the girl. I felt like you was my YouTube mama. You understand what I'm saying? And you just was like, oh girl, she ain't no, that bitch ain't no, she's an entertainer. And I misconstrued it in the wrong space, and I called. I was like, damn it, I love you, girl. Like you don't even know how much I love you. Like, I don't even think I've ever told you this story, you know? And you don't even know how much I love you, girl. And like, I was hurt to the core. And like, what you say about me, it mattered to me.
And let's clear that up. So, so what was happening is there is bitches that I defend.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm a stand of people who, and if you say some shit about them, I'm going to correct you. I'm going to fucking come out. So you are one of them bitches.
Yes, you are. Yes.
So when what was happening is in the comments, people was like, it was something that you had said, and they were given very I'm not the girl of representation. She not the representation. She ain't no good look for the trans community. And you said, but you were defending me, but I was like, but it sounded like it was a cut. So what I said was, she is not an educator. She is an entertainer. She is sent here she's here to make you laugh. She's not going to always be politically correct. I didn't say it in all these words, which is why it got misconstrued. But she is not an educator. She is an entertainer. We're supposed to be laughing and kikiing. That is what she's doing. She's doing her motherfucking job. So stop expecting her to be an activist. Stop expecting her to be an educator. Stop expecting all that. But because it was in a text form, it could be misconstrued as like,
yeah. But I was so hurt because I was just like, I love her, and it's just like what she says about me, which I shouldn't be, but like people who I respect in a place, what she said about it mattered to me because I do respect you as a place of having. Girl, you have way more knowledge in trans studies and things. This is what you do. This is what the path that you set out on, and this is your lane. And I'm like, I got thrust into that by accident. You know, I wasn't trying to be there. I just came in to do my motherfucking job, talk my shit or whatever, and whatever. And you know, and in that space, I was trying to educate a little bit, but in my way of, you know, telling my story or telling my side of something. And I just was a little hurt. But when we got on the phone and chopped it up, girl, I just said, girl, I love you. And I love you.
Let's talk about that too, because we grown ass women, and this is how we do. When she when she thought that something was wrong, she called me on my phone and said, "Girl, what's the tea?" And I said, "This is the tea." And we stayed on the phone for 3-4 hours.
3-4 hours, girl. Yes. Yeah, and I was like, I got it, and I understood it. Like when you broke it down for me, and I just was like, and then I said to you, I was like, well, damn it, I want to know what it is that I can do to get better. Like I want to know what it is that I can do to be, you know, more because people do listen to what I say, and it's just the same way. Like I'm older, and I get about understanding your purpose and your responsibility to the world. Because I watched me influence the world. I didn't watch me influence a small marginal community. It was the world. And when I saw that, I was like, ooh. I started to be more conscious about the things that I was doing, more conscious about the the stuff that I was putting out, like I became more aware, and I started to get like, to be honest with you, Diamond, I started to get very fearful that my responsibility was going to swallow who I really was, and it made me really, I stopped. How can I say this, girl? I'm not gonna say I stopped posting, but I was really surveying, like, should I do this? Because I used to do shit without no filter. Girl, fuck that shit. Look, you know.
But that's why we love it.
I know, but then it's just like I started, but I'm slowly coming out of that. But then with this new wave of stuff that's been going on with me, I still have to be cognizant of the things that I say and do. And plus, I'm 43 now. Child, I'm older. I've been online almost as long as you have. And people have grown with you and myself. They've grown. And each phase that they've grown through, I feel that I picked up pieces of maturity there. But I'm still that ghetto ass. I'm still that pussy ass. I'm still that. But it's just, there are things that I'm like, I said, TS Madison, now you want to do and say these things, but you can't. And
I watched an interview with you with what's her name, Tasha K.
Yes,
Tasha K. And it goes back to what I don't want to discuss Kaya at all. Okay. But just this little piece that really, it's about when you were talking about how you got to move in business, how like opportunities was coming, and it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, you can pop off like and be yourself, but when you get to a certain level, you got to adjust that. It's not be yourself at all. It's just you got to adjust it and wait till you get to another platform so you can have the power to say, boom, here I go. Yeah. But it's still, you gotta maneuver in a way to make sure you get the doors open and get through the doors. Yeah. Get through the doors first. Yeah. And then boom, that's how I took what you were saying.
And you took that right. That was exactly right.
And so that's what it is. And so when we talked on the phone, you made it very clear that you asked me, you was like, have you not seen me evolve? And I was like, yes, I have seen you evolve. That's why I was saying what I was saying. Yes, you have adjusted, and there would be things that you would say. I would be like, ooh.
You like, say that. Now, bitch, you ain't supposed to say that. You know what I'm saying? Now and there are things that I've learned because I've watched you, Diamond. I have watched you, and I've watched you, articulate things, and you've helped me in my trans experience. You've helped me in my trans knowing and growing, because you know how it is, girl, when you got girls, the girls don't teach you this shit. Like, you don't really know how. Can I be candid?
Yeah.
You don't really know how to be a black girl, no black trans girl with this and that from other girls, because you don't really see a lot of, all of us is, we got our little ratchet ways, we got our own, way we do things, and then we start seeing the educated girls like yourself and Janet Mock and Laverne Cox, and we start watching this stuff, and you be like, bitch, I don't agree with that, because that ain't, me. And then you start like, oh, it is me, but it's just articulated different. Mm-hmm. Or it's and it started calming me. Like, let me watch.
And okay, so let me explain this as well. So for everybody listening, y'all are just now getting, because of this trans renaissance that has happened through the past decade, y'all are just now getting a peep into trans culture. What you are being exposed to now is trans women and men cisgender people who have deemed them worthy of opening a door for them. Yes. Cisgender people are saying, ooh, because we're trying to be woke and diverse and inclusive, let's include some trans people, particularly now that the marriage equality thing is over. The transness is the new thing. Ooh, we got to be woke and include them. So y'all are seeing these girls that previously wasn't really doing anything in the trans culture. They might have been trans, but they really wasn't doing anything. And y'all are seeing them put in the spotlight. But as a black hood bitch, I'm educated, but I'm a black hood girl. I have a particular vantage point where I can see things that other people that have not seen. And so, back to you, one of the things that y'all may not understand is that Madison was doing work around, it's woke for us to look at the ghetto girl right now and say, she's just as valuable. She's just as worthy. She's just as this. Now, but back in the day, back in 2003, back in 2000, 2004, the ghetto girl doors was closed from us. We wasn't I even feel like even my YouTube popularity was stunted because I was unapologetically black. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things I want people to understand is that you gave space when body positivity was not the in vogue thing. You was the big black ghetto girl doing porn, making money, letting the girls know that this is something that motherfuckers like. Maybe not mainstream motherfuckers ain't accepting it or not haven't picked up on it, but you can be big, you can be desirable, you can be a trans woman, you can be hood, and you can embrace all that shit and make money. And that's what people want to dog sex work or porno work and make it seem like that's negative. But for a trans girl who was in that world, you was giving me license to say, motherfuckers out here loving me. We got a bitch over here making millions, getting a house, and yes, it's through sex works.
Yes.
But oh well, I'm a hoe too. And so for me, seeing that and seeing you and Eve and learning, and at that time, Jade and Miss Tatiana Braxton, she was TS Cherry.
Sherry.
You know, all those Miami girls and the porn girls really just flourishing and do their thing. This is before this time that we're in now, when Lizzo's and body positivity and, you know, anti and pro ghetto, pro hood, pro black shit. When it was not respectable to be us, you was making moves in, even though it was in the porn world, it still was affecting us and giving us.
Yeah. And I thank you for that. I thank you because see, I didn't know. Now I know what to say, because even when I'm on interviews and stuff like that, I don't know how to articulate it. Like, this is what I was doing, but I just said I was paving a lane for girls like me. And there's a large portion of girls, survival girls. We had to sex survive. And when I got to the point, you know, each level of my career, you know, I changed and evolved. And then I got to a complete point in 2013 where I was calling myself promoting that and ended up getting pushed into mainstream media without me having any idea that it was going on. Mm-hmm. And that it was like right when Laverne Cox was coming out on Time magazine and all this type of stuff, TS Madison was coming out with Being New. So it felt like that I was a total negative light on what they were trying to do for trans inclusion. Like, well, this is God, this is the devil. That's the way.
Right. This is and you felt that because motherfuckers was trying it. Motherfuckers was trying to sell that narrative initially. They were trying to give, you know, girls who fucking transition 2 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
You just was in fucking you know, doing drag with the niggas. And you randomly come up, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So, and they were trying to sell it like this doesn't represent da-da-da-da. But me, why I have always been in your corner, because I was a hood black girl. I was a sex worker. And you're not about to tell me that this girl don't have value in the same way because you don't know her history and what impact that she has had on black trans girls in our community.
Yes,
every motherfucking body knew the big dick bitch.
Everybody.
Everybody knew.
But the gag is everybody knew. And then now, where I am at in my career now, they can openly talk about it now, because then it was under the table talking about it. Now that's the whole point of conversation. And then when you look around, Diamond, and you see everybody got an OnlyFans. You like, wait a minute. I feel so. if you want me to scale it back, I feel so disrespected. Like, girl, you people were making it so difficult for me, and then here come COVID-19, and you found out you had to survive, girl. Oh, now the shoe is on your foot, and now you get it.
I was speaking at Stanford University in February, and I tagged you in a video, and you commented, and I made it a point to bring your name in that space, in that academic space, because when we're talking about decriminalizing sex work, and we're talking about sex work, and we're talking about how culture is moving in another direction, you can't take away how the underground has affected the overground now.
All these things that we are seeing in the mainstream of how you market yourself, how you hustle yourself, how you get attention.
Exactly.
Sex workers and exotic dancers have been doing those things to get attention and to get numbers. Look, when we think about TS Madison, she legitimized herself, quote unquote legitimized, herself through a video on Vine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, 22 inches.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So she knew how to, because of her sex worker past, she knew how to market and knew how to use this utility. And then now you see everybody trying to do not necessarily the exact same thing, but trying to use it in a way that, you know, that a sex worker taught you how to do that.
Exactly.
And I wanted to make sure your name was brought into the academic space so they understand that this is the impact of what this girl had been doing. We're not talking about 22 inches, new weave, this Vine video that was brilliant marketing. Because it wasn't, like you just said, it wasn't, I think I'm about to be a star. It was, look, I'm a sex worker and I'm trying to get, you know, traffic to my motherfucking site to keep making this money that I've been making for decades.
Yeah, yes.
And it just went to a whole nother level. Exactly. I knew what it was.
Another thing, Diamond, it's something, and only real bitches got it. Like, real bitches got it. You got it. You knew what was going on. You knew I wasn't over there trying to post shit up on social media for somebody to see my dick hanging out. I know that's not what I was selling over there. I was selling that shit in the space that I was selling it. And not only did I research before I even started to put it out, I was like, okay, this is after dark stuff. This is stuff. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just want to get in this lane. I just want to sell my shit. I didn't know none of that stuff was going, none of it. I had no idea that any of it was going to happen. And then when it happened, it changed my life. It literally, like Vine changed my life completely. Yeah. It threw me in a space, my naked body threw me in a space of, some of the shit was jokes and some of it was people were being, you know, doing what they normally do with anything new and that they don't understand. But it also gave me a door to start talking about, hey, this is what we girls do over here in the dark.
Wait. Let me give you a little bit more credit than what you're giving yourself right now. Okay, so that might have been a lucky fluke. But a lot of bitches get lucky flukes. They don't, but the skill, the talent is taking that lucky fluke and open up doors for yourself and being prepared to be able to do more and take it to, and I don't want to use legitimate, but take it to a more, because it wasn't like that wasn't a legitimate. Take it to a more mainstream platform so that so it can change your life. Because some people can go viral and it don't do shit for their life. Yeah. But you had the skills that you had already built up with the industry.
Yes, ma'am.
To take this to another level, just in another field. That's the talent. Ma'am. That's the brilliance. That's the putting the culture forward. That's something that you had in you. That is something, the skill in you, that is you. That's not an accident. That is your skill and your brilliance and what you bring to the world. Everybody can't do that.
Yes, ma'am, and you're correct. And it was the same thing, and I don't want to talk about her either, but it's the same thing that I applied when Kaya and I started going viral. It was the same formula. It was like, hey, girl, you want to sit here and talk about people for free. Mamas, we need to be packaging in this. This needs to be a business. What are you doing? And then, she got out there in the streets and she became exactly who she was sitting next to me, and I will take a thrashing for it, Diamond, because I did sit next to a person who said homophobic and transphobic things or whatever, and I didn't see it as that because I thought that she was my sister, and I also thought that we were friends, and I thought that she wasn't talking about me. So I learned many lessons even in that situation. Was like, when they display these things, when people display these things, you are not excluded from it. They mean you too. Because the moment that they feel slighted by you or they feel some type of way about you, you are all those things that they think about everybody else. You're all those things. And my whole thing was, when I went into that situation, I was trying to package up what was going on, and the people out there that's watching, or anybody watching, could say, oh, she was doing this before, and she's been doing this since MySpace days and all this stuff, which she was. I didn't steal anything from her, but when she and I came together, it was like lightning in a bottle.
It was magic.
It was magic. And I was like, girl, we need to package this up and make it look pretty, because it don't look pretty with you just sitting over there saying somebody got pussy stank or this and the other. So no. No, there's ways that we can say this thing to convey it into a joke and not so harsh. And I think that's what the world was accepting from us together. They love her by herself. She's doing her own thing by herself. But when we were together, it was a comedy show. Girl, we were #2 on iTunes in comedy. Coming from a trans girl, and they don't want to give it this. Oh, I was just a sidekick. I didn't contribute. I'm like, you see the difference when we split?
What? Like anybody who's saying that, they just hate, because nobody, if you're not acknowledging that you both coming together help each other's brand. It wasn't Kaya coming on helping your brand or you coming on helping her brand. It was both of y'all coming together in a way. It was two hood bitches coming together in comedy. And when have we seen that in this way?
Yes.
With a trans woman and a cis woman. Bitch, this is fucking brilliant and magic.
Yes.
So, and I could get past her problematic shit because it was so funny. Because it was so entertaining, and I can move my activist self out of it because I can still be entertained. It's like me watching, I want to
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I love Dave Chappelle, but I know he's problematic, but I am a fan of his.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and so, and I don't want to stay because I don't want people to think I'm groveling. Or I want her back because listen, I was fine before we linked, and I'm definitely going to be fine after we're gone. But however, that time period, it goes back to me being able to reflect on. We went viral for nothing. Even my facial expression, me doing that, and me falling down in the chair, all of that added to the skit of what was going on. And once again, when that happened, I was catapulted back into, well, Madison, you have a responsibility as a trans woman to educate her. And I did take those moments when we were off tape and we were off, when all the lights are off, and I would say, sister, now I know, I don't really know how strongly you feel about, the girls, but it does sound kind of nasty. Let us, to keep the comedic stance of a situation, let us find different names and different stuff like gazoo and blouse, which is a feminine top. Like, let's find different names to keep the comedy going or whatever. She agreed. We went on. We did it, and then the foolishness about when we split, it was just like, a bitch was trying to control me. No, it was never trying to control. Be the trashy bitch that you want to be, but learn something from this. I still was the same trashy bitch. It's just like you got to know, like, okay, you can't launch it this. You got to package it and then give it out. You just can't throw it at the person like this. You got to package it up and give it. Right. It's still shit in the box,
And even in community, you were kind of in that lane where you wasn't necessarily aligned with trans community either, in how you think about yourself and how you think about your transness. There was some things, like, especially early on, I've seen some evolution now, but early on where it's like, ooh, that's not really how everybody thinks. But the difference, like, you know, like Flame, but the difference between you and Flame is from the beginning, you have always made it clear that I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm not saying those other girls are wrong or crazy or blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling you my experience. And so even like with the Flame situation, Flame was calling other girls crazy and calling other girls, saying other girls is lying and, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm a woman. I'm not a female. And that's something that we agree on. Like, literally. That's something that we, in our minds, how we think about our transness. I'm a woman all motherfucking day.
All day.
I know I'm not a female.
And it's just like, and I tell women, hey, you know, and I'm not trying to force you to do anything against your will, but you just gotta, you have to understand and accept that I'm not a man, because a man and me are not the same things. And I'm not a female because you and I are not the same thing, but we share that woman umbrella. We share those same rings. That shit that rain down for black women, black trans women get it too.
Mm-hmm. So I think one of the things that the reaction when I was watching what was going on between you and your ex co-host, because you have, now you give cis women a little bit more grace than I do. In certain things. So, you know, I hear you say something, I'm like, girl, about it.
Listen, I love my girls, and I do think that my girls have more growing to do, and I feel like they're growing with me, because I do feel that I have imprinted on Black popular culture. Mm-hmm. That they're more so now like, I get it, Madison. Where they wouldn't hear it from you, or they wouldn't hear it from someone else, you know, they will probably hear it from me saying, hey, I'm not a female, but I am a woman, and I need you to understand that, you know, I'm not here to take your place. However, I'm here.
Right.
And if you,
and I think that is what happened when I would look in the comments, because I would be like, well, Madison is a little bit more palatable to cis women, because she says, you know, you don't say this now, but back in the day, you would say things like, I know, you know, I know I'm a man, or something in that language. Yeah. That's not the language that I would use, but a cis woman would be like, yeah, this is how they would say it, I like him, he knows the real tea.
Yeah, right. I get it, but the thing about it was, I still was, and it took women, trans women like yourself, and people who I felt were trying to erase my identity, you know, but it wasn't about erasure, it was about me understanding. Like, Madison, it's okay that if you identify with male parts of yourself, however, you are not a man. You're not a man. It's okay if you identify with your former self, with things from your former self, like your business mind, you know, the way that you interact with, you know, with cis women or whatever. But you have to stop saying that you are a man, because a man, genetically, you are a male. Genetically, you're a male. But you, ma'am, are not male. You are a woman. Right. And I started to watch you guys, and I started to understand it. Like, all this time, I was trying to articulate it correctly. I mean, because this is the way I felt, but I didn't articulate it right, and it sounded as if I was pandering, you know, to cis women, and it took me more to watch, and I'm like, yes, that's what I want to say. I'm not saying it right. You know what I'm saying?
And you were saying your ass would be in my comments. You'd be like, yes, that's what I wanted to say.
That's what I want to say. Like, yes, that's what, but I didn't know how to articulate it. And I think that I've gotten in trouble with my own community a lot, because, you know, because I didn't mean malicious, or I didn't mean, because no shade, Diamond. I occupy spaces that a lot of trans girls Do not.
Just
and
don't.
even the ones like Laverne and like their spaces that they don't, people aren't gonna pay that. The real knockers that you be trying to get that information over to ain't paying that shit no attention. Them real ratchet ghetto black girls or those people that are or black families or whatever, you know, that are still I get reach over into that
because they see us in them. We hood bitches. They can see us in them. You not gonna be, and even certain things. It's like I don't know what that gives. Like they'll be like, okay, but this I don't really relate to this.
Right.
But this seems more real and authentic. It's not. Some motherfuckers seem like they just putting on, like they putting on a face.
Right.
But we have always been real
bitches. Yeah. That's just what it is. And so I've understood, and this is every time I get on an interview now with people, I tell them, I'm like, I'm learning. Like, stop trying to nail me to the cross, because I'm learning. You got to realize I was in a world that I was in my own lane, making my own. I was not thinking about none of this shit that's going on out here. I didn't ask to be in front of, like, all I wanted the girls to do was give me their credit card numbers and let me live my life. They had already told me, this is where you are. This is what you're going to do. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. And I'm good here because I'm comfortable here. But then I got catapulted over here, and then different sets of responsibilities came. And I was like, ooh. And then I didn't like, Diamond, I didn't like being referenced to like as floor trash, because, you know, I really wasn't floor trash. It was like, I think I was misunderstood with things or whatever. And this is why when I'm on my platform, even now, and I haven't had you yet, but I am when all this stuff is done. But even now, I pull in people like Ashley Marie, like girls who can articulate it better. I'm like, I can't say it like that, but you can. So come over here. What I do is I'll gather the girls. Bring y'all bitches, bring your ass in here and learn something, because I'm about to learn something too. And I get my notepad and pen, and we all learn it at the same time. And it just makes me feel good that even though I may not be able to articulate it the way that she is, I'm still articulating it in a way that they understand. And these girls are reinforcing what I'm saying in a completely, in a higher intellectual way. And I feel good about it. I feel like that I'm really occupying my purpose. Now. Yeah. I think I'm occupying my purpose now. And with all the opportunities that have been given to me and have came my way and have all this stuff, like there was one point in time that I felt I did feel like floor trash. It was very much so like everybody that you want to really like, you know, acknowledge you for, you know, like say, hey, I pioneered this stuff, girl. Like I knew that I didn't know exactly what I was pioneering down, but I knew I was pushing something in. Like I'm pioneering, like, girl, y'all still giving it to me like I'm floor trash. And then not only that, you're taking fragments of me and trying to reconstruct them, and I'm watching them in these spaces, and it don't look right.
It don't, because you're being a parent. You're being, you know, you're trying to be something that's not authentically you, so it's coming off as what?
Right. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all could have called me to do that. So the story could be, I could really give you the story the way it's supposed to go, because you've listened to a story that I've talked about somewhere, and you've reapplied this, like, you know, I've seen this with my eyes. I know this to be true, you know, because when I've talked to a couple of folks, you know, and I love everybody, I do. It's like, yeah, Madison, you know, we did take pieces of things that you had talked about, because, you know, it was real life for people. And I was like, well, y'all should have called me to either direct it better or be there or occupy that space or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, or influence it the real way. Because if y'all wasn't deep in that shit like we was deep in that shit, Diamond, it ain't real.
Right.
You know? So, I don't feel like floor trash now.
Good. You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Thank you.
So what I also like to do is give give honor to our history. And we talked on the phone maybe 3 times in our life. And usually we stay on the phone like 4 or 5 hours.
Hours. Yes.
Hours.
Baby,
so the very first time we talked was when the Jade situation happened.
Yes.
The Jade situation. We actually talked on the phone because you hit me up about that just to share your side of the story. Because I did a video interview with TS Jade, Jada Sims. And you wanted to share your side of the story with me so I can get better context. But in that conversation, because we are around the same age bracket, I'm about to be 40 next year, we come up in an era of transness that we was reminiscing on some shit where we was like, wait, like we are, you know, when we talk about pump ladies, when we talk about girls coming up. So I kind of want to go into some Miami, like, trans history. When I think about Miami and that era, I think about the Braxton girls. The Braxton girls in the trans world, it was a certain look. It was a certain thing. So I want you to talk about that a little bit. Talk about the Braxtons, talk about Duchess, talk about growing up in Miami. Who was I know Eve was your mother that got you into the business, but even before you went to Atlanta, talk about that.
Well, my girls, you know, we're from down south. The Braxton girls, they were the girls from North Miami. I mean, Tangela was Tangela Armani. She was a girl that does hair like I still love her. I wrote about her in my first book. China, she's in Homestead, you know. But the Braxton girls was who we would really look at because they were in North Miami and they had like the bodies. They were the bodies girls. Tatiana Braxton. It was Tatiana Braxton. It was Natasha Braxton. Honey, it was Destiny Braxton. Make sure she rest in peace. With Miss Lance, Miss Carmen Foy. Excuse me. I started calling real names, girl.
We just not playing with you.
I started calling real because we go back to when I was 16. When I was like 16, 17 years old, we go back. Girl, I'm 43. So we go back when we was calling each other by our real name, like Miss Kim.
With Miss in front of it.
And Miss in front, like, you know. So a lot of the times when I think about stuff from Florida, it was Miss Pilar Braxton, Miss Click, honey, Miss Teresita, it's just so many girls that you see. Miss Naranji. Girl, it's just like girls from way back. But Tatiana Braxton was the body girl. The waist was this small and the hips were this wide.
Oh!
You wasn't a girl, honey, if you didn't have a waist this small and your hips was this big, girl. You had to be able to fill out a body dress. We were Miami girls, honey. Listen, let me tell you something. If you could have a nasty body dress and a fake pocketbook, bitch, you was sickening, girl. You had a fake Gucci and a nasty body dress on. You didn't care about girl. I'm just giving it. Diamond, I didn't give a damn about skin and nails and all this stuff until I really got here. Like when I was introduced to Miss Eve, because it was like, girl, how you gonna be real?
Miss Eve made you a refined woman, baby. Rest in peace, Eve. Oh my God, she was a trendsetter too.
Yes, she was the first black girl. The first black girl. She birthed me and Jada.
Right in that era, it was Alana Starr. I remember Wendy Williams, not cisgender Wendy Williams, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And Megan Chevalier. Do you remember her?
All those names. All those were girls. They were white. They were white girls. White girls.
Yeah.
Hispanic girls.
Yeah.
You didn't see black. And this is why when Miss Eve was the first black girl porno site that was like
popping.
That was like urban. It was urban. Because they had actors, bitch. We had the trades that came through there. The real niggas came through there and bust us down. The real boys. You feel me? The pieces. Girl.
Right.
The ratchet. Listen, and I tell girls this all the time.
This ain't the trade of today, because we go since we older bitches, we auntie status. This ain't the trade. The trade that y'all fucking with now ain't what we was fucking with.
Women, baby, them women y'all messing with, y'all dyking. Bitch, we mess with the real thing. Shawty want a thug. We talking about something the 99, the 2000, 100 bad that ass up trade. You feel me? So, God damn it, you got me in here pulling my own. But what is what it is. Here's where a lot of girls have to understand. The man that likes you now, I could call 10 niggas to tell you right now the reason why they like transsexual women is because of three black girls. TSE, Sexy J, or TS Madison, the big dick bitch. They will tell you that.
Wait, they will tell you, I was watching this video and I clicked and this ad came up and I clicked it and it was a trans woman and my dick stay hard.
Right. They'll tell you that, won't it? And it was either one of the three of us. And then when I started hitting that shit hard and like really moving that shit hard, not to say that Jay didn't move her shit hard, because she did, but Jay mainstreamed it. You know what I'm saying? I kept the bitch urban.
Right.
I kept that shit urban. Wasn't no, God forgive me, because I ain't got no problem with white, but wasn't no white dicks on me. It was all niggas.
Right. Quiet as a kept, you was like the trans pinky?
Yeah. Yes.
If you want to give a context, if you want a cisgender context, that's what it is. Boom.
Boom. And it was like big dick niggas coming through, ratchet niggas looking in the camera like, oh man, you gonna suck this dick. And I was going viral without me even knowing I was going viral for stuff like that, because I would get boys, you know, that after they done signed the contract and all this stuff, crying, oh my God, my baby mama done seen it. Oh my God, it was in a group. I didn't even know what Facebook was going on. Like, it was in a group on Facebook. Oh God. I'm like, bitch, well, what the fuck? That ain't got nothing to do with me. You done came over here and fuck me, bitch. Listen, you finna pay me for the rest of my life, for eternity, honey. Your soul belongs to me. But
just a token, really a trifle.
That's it. Listen, and they go to call me like, girl, take the video. Then I'm like, oh, you see? The contract's legal, binding, and completely unbreakable, even for you. Bitch, I didn't play with those boys. And I learned that from the Grand Hot Witch, Miss Eve. She was like, bitch, don't you dare get in no video with those men and not have your paperwork together. Don't you do it, you know? Yeah. But it's like I say this stuff all the time, like ladies, you new girls don't understand all what's sitting here. Like you really don't get it. Like you really don't get it. Like pioneered a way through even when I wasn't even trying. Listen, I was getting my own videos in distribution places, like in the chain. I locked Georgia down. From Atlanta to South Georgia, I locked Georgia down all the way to Florida. Like me getting my own distribution deals and stuff like this or whatever without having like I said, Jay mainstream, like she signed with the company and they did all that for her. The TS did all that for me.
So, context. There was a time where a lot of girls was making content for motherfucking companies. When we talk about Groovy, when we talk about, the girls were making, and this is why I say, y'all sleep on me. I know I'm a culture watcher. This is what I do. I know the inside scoop of shit. And what was happening, they would be creating content. It's like 360 deals in the music industry. They would be trans girls. They would be scouting, going on their ass, scouting to get them to make content for them and make them millions. But they didn't, the girls weren't transferring it into, I want to be independent like TS Madison and TS Eve was doing. It was, I want to have my own brand, sell my own DVDs in the actual stores where I own them. I own the rights to them, and it's my money. I'm not just making money for somebody else. And so what I saw you doing in my mind from outside looking in, I was like, she's a mogul. She's not just a product being used by somebody. She's actually recording, distributing, and making the full money from her whole.
Listen, I started making deals with Pornhub, like getting contracts with Pornhub to lease to lease my videos, like things like that, like because I wouldn't work for those companies. I knew my value, and I said that, listen, I may not got the biggest dick, but I'm the big dick bitch. And I got the niggas, and I'm not working with the niggas that y'all want me to come over there and film with. I'm bringing, bitch, if we gonna pull my camera, I'm bringing my niggas with me, cause bitch, I know what them hood niggas gonna pick up in that store and be like, wait a minute, this nigga look like me. He got dreads and gold teeth. Hold on, wait a minute.
An untapped market, baby.
A whole untapped market, a whole niche, a whole these things. You know that I was already, and yes, I'm gonna pat myself on the back, because there are a lot of girls who are dead now, who pictures and shit is still floating around on the internet, and their family are getting nothing for it. Nothing. And even when they were living and they were going through their brokest time, they're getting nothing for it. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah.
Every time you see that motherfucker, that bitch, I could be the thinnest thing on that. Believe you me, if it's $500 coming in this bitch from 15 years ago, it's mine. I don't got to bust that with nobody. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So it was just, this is why people don't get it. I was not trying. I was good in my space that I was in. I got thrown over here, and then my world changed. All the way from Miami, me looking up to the girls like Cherry, at Tatiana Braxton and Natasha Braxton, all the girls or whatever, because they the body girls, to me, no tea, no shade. I know if any of you, me outgrowing them, and I'm not gonna sit up here. I have surpassed a lot of things that you know, they are legends, and they're right, and I've pulled from pieces of them, but girl, I done surpassed. Bitch, I love my gay mama to death, Miss E, but I had surpassed her, and it was stuff that I was trying to introduce her in. Like, girl, come on into this with me. Let me share this side that I've learned about walking in over here. Like, come on, you know, to enhance what you are, to enhance who you are. Like you taught me all what you could teach me, and then I went out to learn more. I made mistakes. I made failures or whatever. Then I came back like, girl, this is what I don't went out here in the world, mama. This is what I done learned.
Okay. So that leads me into being a mother of the community, because this is what we're talking about is like your history. And we talked about, you know, your current impact of culture, but what people may not pay attention to, what people, they see it, but they may not be making that connection. But because I'm a trans woman who lived this life, who sees and watches, and who knows people who know you, that before you was famous, before you are a mother, you have a circle of people that have been eating off of you for a long time, because you care for them. And like trans women do, there are people who don't have families. There are people who don't have families in their corners. Yes. There are people who don't have a support system. And because you have the heart that you have brought them into your circle and gave them jobs, gave them places to stay, gave them food to eat.
And gave them the game.
And
putting them in places like, well, girl, here you go over here, or let me make a call and put in a word and be like, you know, these my peoples, you know, put them on, do something for them. You feel me?
Right.
And my thing, Diamond, is I think that people think that when you get famous, that you forget about where you come from. Oh, don't forget where you come from. Oh no, bitch, I don't forget where I come from. And let me tell you why you don't have to remind me that, bitch, I'm never gonna forget where I come from, because I don't want to go back there. So no, I'm not going to forget where I came from. But what you hoes not going to do is you're not going to underwhelm the things. You get what I'm saying? I know a lot of people like, oh, she always talk about this house and this and the other. Girl, I was a 29-year-old transsexual girl who went from being having nowhere to stay when I moved here to buying me a motherfucking a giant house and furnish that bitch from Florida top to bottom, running my own business off of some shit off of cards that were dealt to me. I didn't feel like I was better than anybody. I'm like, bitch, listen, you girls can't make me feel no kind of way, because these are the cards that was dealt to me, and this is how I played the motherfucking game. And bitch, I did this, I did that, I did this, and whatever. And a lot of you girls who feel like that y'all better than me or whatever, girl, I ain't seen you outdo me yet. Where your name at? You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I and they, Marsha need to humble herself. Yeah, I am humble, but
no, I don't think black women should be humble. We give too much to this motherfucking community as a whole. Fuck that. We don't need to be humble. If you have done some shit, if you have put some shit out there, and if you ain't did shit, then yeah, bitch, go sit your ass down.
Yeah.
In the motherfucking pudding. Can't nobody take the impact that you have had.
Yeah.
And not just impact on culture, but just we are trans women. There are certain access of things that is hard for us to get. One of those things is home ownership. The fact that you have been able to create that space and security and be in that space for the longevity. There's trans women out here that are struggling to get certain things because of the barriers. You have overcome those barriers. There's no need to be humble about overusing the cards. Like you said, the cards that you dealt. There's no need to be humble in admitting I have did this shit. Bitch, I did that.
Yeah, and then I could see if I was telling her I did it and I'm the only one that can do it. I'm like, no, bitch. You just got to know how to play the deck that you've been given. You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit. Like I had all that stuff stacked against me. I was one black girl against a company of groovy and this T-girls and that and marketing and all this stuff and white skin. Like, come on, let's be real. And white skin. Them telling the public just the same way they do with black women and stuff. This is beautiful. This is not.
All them tattoos is ghetto.
Yeah.
All them
she fat.
You're a big girl. All that silicone you got that don't look real.
Don't look real. Bitch, the titties just crooked. Bitch, I got under the table silicone. Yeah, my titties crooked. Bitch, I got motherfucking dents in me. Yes, because I have under the table stuff. I didn't know. No one told me how to go to how to get a transfer of this and that, the other. The white girls had different accesses to things than we did. It's all about, these are the cards that I was dealt. I played the game and I was secure in it.
Yep.
That's just what it is. It's not bragging. It's not this. These were the odds that were stacked against. I'm not asking for anybody's sympathy. I'm not asking for nobody to crap. Ooh, boo, hoo. This happened to her. No, I'm telling you, you can't make me feel some kind of way, bitch, because the deck that was dealt to me, I played the game and I won over and over again. And now I have a new deck of cards in my hand that because I know what to do with that one, I'm playing it the same way to win. You feel me? This ain't my you bitch may see me walk around this bitch in a circle and be like the marvelous chateau. Baby, you ain't seen a motherfucking thing yet because of the breath and soul that God done gave me. If I pointed at this one and said I was gonna get it, you wait till you see the compound. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's not unattainable for me. There was a space in my life where I felt that it was unattainable for me because I didn't see me. You understand what I'm saying, sister? I didn't see me out there attaining it. Now, oh bitch, I want to be the person that you see obtaining it so that you know that it's obtainable for us. Because you know.
That is trend setting. That is fearless, going after what you want. There was a time like and it's not just us. So I want whoever, if you're listening, there's a trans girl out here right now that feels that same exact way, even with all this visibility that we have, that because the cards are stacked against you, you might feel like you can't make shit happen. Girl, that is not true.
Not true.
You can make it work. You can do use your skills, use your talent. TS Madison is TS Madison. Can't nobody replace her. There's no second tier. Diamond Stylz is Diamond Stylz. Can't nobody replace me. I am what I am. I've been in my own lane. When we talk about Laverne, we talk about Janet. When we talk about Brianna Jenkins, she a whole fucking lawyer sitting up there working for the ACLU, about to do some amazing shit. That's her lane. I'm not going to try to be no lawyer. That's not my ministry.
That's it.
You learn what your ministry is, and then you keep going, keep jumping over those hurdles, going around them. Look at everybody wanted to act like, T.S. Madison, now that Kaya's gone, she gonna be boring, she not gonna be able to do nothing. And look at her, resilient. still out here,
Bro,
bigger
listen,
platform, bigger growth.
Yeah, and let me let a bitch know I got a whole motherfucking TV network that done came down here to my basement, and that's all I'm gonna say. I did that bitch with the moment that the bitch walked out. The moment is when the real shit stepped in. Boom. We was waiting on you to get back to the old TS, bitch, because we didn't know where this was going.
Because that girl wasn't evolving. You was evolving.
So all that stuff those people say about me, I could give a fuck less. Don't watch me no more. It wasn't for you to see. I might have done absorbed all I needed. So okay, we finished playing cards. Okay, y'all done with the game. I still got a whole. I'm playing this game to the day I leave this earth. Just shuffle me a new deck. She gone? Well, shuffle me a new deck, bitch. Let me see what I'm finna do with this. That's just how it is. I do feel like that Black trans women are extreme survivors. We are survivors. We are survivors, Diamond. Listen, if we've lived through all the trade and boys and transphobia, homophobia, and all this stuff, and we still here, we survivors. Because there's many girls that have lost their life in the race, to the end.
We done had guns to our motherfucking head, and we still here, bitch.
Today. Bitch, I done had a Mexican standoff with Trey, bitch, pussy nigga. It made me a stronger person. Like, oh, okay, I might have got a gun put out on me Friday, but next Friday he getting one put out on his bitch ass. So people don't understand. Like nothing can break me. I'm gonna be strong and resilient, and I'm gonna persevere all the way to it's time for me to do the ultimate transition, honey, to the afterlife.
Yeah.
Because It's all you can do. I know the cards that were dealt to me, things that I didn't want to happen, and it's even now, even things that go on now. Like even with the great things that are going on in my life now, there's still things that are out of my hands that I'm like, well, I can't control this, but I have to play the hand that's given to me. I got to do this. This is what I have to do. I without giving away a lot of stuff, it's just like, even in this next place, I don't want them, and I made it very clear. You're not going to restructure and rebrand TS Madison where she can't be the authentic person that she is. It's not going to happen because people are following me for my authenticity. And if they follow me and they coming along on this journey with me, and I know that, because I have some shit coming for 2021, a bitch can suck my ass. And my thing is, it would have been going on in 2020, but the COVID-19 came. But we've been working through that. But even in those cards that are now, that were laid on the table, all right, TS Madison, this is what we gonna do. You've been knocking on the door. We closed it. You've been tapping on the window. We wouldn't open it. Bitch, you done crawled through the crack, and you in here now. So guess what? Since you're in here, this is what we finna do. We're gonna give you this, and this, and see what you're gonna do with it. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do what the only thing I know how to do, and that's work with what I got. Now, if you gave me more than this, it would have been better for me. But you only gave me this. All right, cool. Well, this is what I'm about to do. And that's just what it is. And I want girls that are listening and to understand that the top of one mountain is the bottom of another. You will never, ever, 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 ever stop elevating. You're gonna elevate from here, elevate until you leave this place. Now you can get to a place in your life or your career or wherever you are that you be like, you know what, I'm comfortable. That ain't me. You didn't even say, sister, I done walked through the marvelous chateau. Well, baby, who's to say in the next 365 or the next 2 years that you may not be coming visiting me at the compound and I'm having to drive you from the gate to the house. So, but that's the vision that you have to see for yourself. But I want people to understand that even when you think that you've gotten to the top of Mount Everest, you at the bottom of another one, and you just got to keep going.
Yeah,
you got to, whatever cards that you are dealt, you have to play the game the way you know how to do it. And it's okay to fumble a little bit. It's all right if you lose a hand. Stay in the game. That split with me and Kaya and shit like that or whatever, that people felt like that was a big loss for me. It was all right. That deck was shit. We had to reshuffle. I'm still in the game. Everybody has a point. They like where they gotta, where if they still in the game, you just gotta reshuffle your cards. Don't give the game. I could have threw the cards and say, I'm it. That's it. I'm finished. I'm done. Nah, bitch. You got to prove to a bitch. Oh, you got up and you walked out on the game while we was playing it, and you just a fuck you pussy asshole. Okay, I'm gonna play this bitch until I done won this bitch all the way around.
Right.
Till I done got everybody's money on the table. You feel what I'm saying, Diamond?
Feel you. I'm somebody that I in my mind, I feel like I like what I do. I feel like I'm a hood bitch and I don't kiss people ass.
You don't.
There's gonna be a level that I'm just not gonna be able to reach because I'm not gonna do that. But there's levels that I want to reach that I know I can, that I'm just
Girl, listen, you just got to reshuffle the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to reshuffle and play the game the way you know how.
Yeah.
Reshuffle. Okay. And you may learn from somebody else here, like, wait a minute. Oh, you put, okay, let me flip these cards back around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just what it is. And here's another thing that we as black and this is not alienating or excluding.
We don't do that here. We don't. They know this show centers black trans femmes. We don't play that. Apologize for shit. Fuck that shit. No.
Bitch, we as black trans women, we have to make sure that we uplift it, because the only way that we're gonna get to the top, bitch, is if we pulling each other up. That's just it. All that other stuff about who's sickening and who this and who better than this and who this and the other, I don't even get into the politics of those types of things. If it's some game I can show you, bitch, I get on there like, girl, listen, if you call such and such and such and such, because it's not going to take anything from me. To be honest with you, it's going to make me grow. Sister, if it was not for you, and I don't care to say this in front of anybody, if it was not for you interviewing Jade, and I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. And then I really got into watching you after that and just like, oh, I'm learning so much stuff about me. I'm learning so much stuff about me. Bitch, I don't know everything about myself. It's just, I grew up in a house with other boys and just came out in a wig. I didn't know how to be nothing else.
And the beautiful Miss Mary churchy ass.
Yeah, it's my shout out about CDD out of my time. You know, that's it. That's all I know. So when you start looking around at other girls, it's just like, oh. And then hearing you so eloquently read a bitch to death. And so without lots of vulgarities, because I get into the whole voice, and then you watching me eloquently reading a bitch to death with vulgar, fuck your dumb, dirty dick. Not, you know, you like, yes, bitch, say all of that. Because they gonna hear that from you. They ain't gonna hear it from me, but they ain't gonna absorb from me. They gonna absorb that from you. You know, instead of saying, child, she late. I don't, you know what I'm saying? This was like, yes, eat them up, Madison, bitch, and let me follow up with an eloquent video and say, let me take what piece of what my
let me support you. You take that and this.
Yeah, and this, bitch. Because she motherfucking molly wop you. I'm about to go ahead on and finish you off, hey, bitch.
I love it.
Yes, and I just want you to know that this is a whole full circle thing for me, you know, sitting up here with you, because if it was not for you, I wouldn't be on YouTube, girl. I would I don't know. I mean, I don't know where. Eventually, I probably would have found it, but
Yeah.
it was that video, and I heard her telling her. So I was like, "Wait a minute!" I was like, "Oh, give me your number so I could come." How you make a YouTube video? What you do? And bitch, and catch the gag. My infamous tagline came from me making that video, trying to get on. Is it on? Is this bitch on? Is this recorded?
Because I was watching.
And then the thing about it was, that was the first video I made trying to get on there to talk about the Damn Stylz video with Jay. Do you see how full circle that shit is?
Yeah.
You see?
That's beautiful.
This is why in life, you have to always be positive, have your positive doors open, have these things open, because you never know how full circle something is going to come. You don't know.
You don't know.
My "is it on" was me trying to get online because I needed to respond. I'm over here like, looking at this. Is it on? Is this bitch recorded? And that has been my tagline from that day on.
Yeah. Well, we're glad. I'm glad that I made the video there. Because I love it. That's my shit. Well, we got to talk about an event that we're doing.
Yes. We're doing this together, sister. Oh my God. Listen, when they called me and told me that who it was, I was like, man, I gotta let my motherfucking sister know in front of the world, bitch, that she is it on. She is the birthplace to the Is It On queen, bitch. I was so excited for it, and we were supposed to do it in person, but the COVID-19 came through it and
fucked it up.
And fucked it all the way up.
So the Transgender Cultural District and the House of Tulip, led by Mariah Moore and Aria Saeed, they are throwing a Winter Gala. It's like a holiday fundraiser, and it's going to be Friday, December the 11th, and it's going to be 5:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Central Time, and 8:30 Eastern Time. And it's going to be an amazing event hosted by yours truly, Diamond Stylz, and the amazing TS Madison.
Yes.
It is going to have people who are featured like Raquel Willis, Trace Lissette, India Moore.
Ooh. Let me look at the lineup because I didn't know that all the girls was on the lineup like this. I was like, wait a minute now, hold on. They got me with the grand girls.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be Don Richard from with Danity Kane. Wasn't she with Danity Kane? Yes, because I started liking her when she was solo. It's gonna be Lion Babe. It's gonna be tons of trans artists, musical artists. It's just going to be just a trans celebration where we are really in a lot of trans men as well. It's just going to be, we're just going to show y'all a good time and try to raise money so we can help the trans community on a bigger level. I just love that they organize this because, I get to work with you and we just really get to do something, build something for ourselves. This is another thing. These are multiple powerhouses coming together to really do something for ourselves instead of waiting for the cis people to give us. Cis people give us this, cis people give us that. We really are trying to build community and create infrastructure so that our trans folks don't have to survive without community in the way that we had to survive when we were young. Yes.
And I'm so honored to be a part of that because, just sitting here talking about, about playing the game with the cards that you are dealt, it's so surreal that the younger girls need to understand that, honey, you don't know a lot of things that you're faced with today. It might seem tough and difficult for you, but girls like Diamond and myself and girls before us have, made the path a little bit more easy. We've walked the grass down, to make it more easier for you to get through. A lot of things that you see as obstacles and stuff now were 10 times worse for us then,
And going back further, when we talk about Miss Majors and when we talk about Tracy Jada O'Brien, when we talk about Miss Billy Cooper, when we talk about the even people older than us, Monica Roberts, who just passed, rest in peace. When we talk about those girls had even more hurdles more than us when we were coming up, and then go back past that. It's just, this is a torch that we have been passed, and we want to make sure that we are paying it forward so that the girls who are coming up don't have to struggle in the same way that we did. So make sure you check it out. It's going to be Friday, December the 11th. I want y'all to, it's a fundraiser, so bring your pocketbooks.
Bring your pocketbook, child. Listen, bring your pocketbook. You know, listen, I know y'all done got the stimulus. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. No, we ain't got the stimulus. But listen, bring some of that.
We can wrap that stimulus up.
Right. Bring some of that unemployment money that we done survived off all the time. Girl, we know you got it, girl. Shit.
You in Georgia, how you feel about this election? Now, I know you don't fuck with Trump, but this suspense, tell me what you was going through in Georgia. Georgia was finally the blue.
Well, listen, you know I'm from Florida, and I watched Florida do that, but then they say Dade County was blue. I was like, all right, bitch, they tear all of that shit up, but leave Dade County right there. And then when it was like Atlanta went on here, Atlanta was the reason why we turned blue. I said, good, tear all that other shit up and leave Atlanta where it's at. But here's the thing, it really just really made me understand how powerful we as Black people are when we're together. It is so important for us to stop sticking, stabbing, fighting, and going for each other's jugular and go for the real beast and slay the real beast. Because when we do, listen, the votes are he's won by the popular vote and the electoral college. There's just no way, no matter how they try to spin it over here and say, oh well, you know, we're gonna fight this in the Supreme Court, and this is why he put that Amy bitch up there.
But even they throwing it out, even not them, but the smaller courts, it's like, get out of here.
You had your 4 years, girl. Pack your bags, get on, and leave, honey. It's not right, but it will definitely be okay. Okay, right. So, and I just felt that Georgia, I felt that we were tired, especially in the situation with George Floyd and girl Breonna Taylor. I said this on my video the other day, Don. That woman was in her bed sleep.
Like many of us are, a long day of work, honey. She was an EMT worker, so she was tired, resting.
In her bed sleep. You mean to tell me y'all can't find these people guilty of murder? You mean to tell me this? And then you want to sit up here and you people that act like that you girls are marching for Trump, or the gays for Trump. Oh no, I couldn't understand it. The trans for Trump. I was like, girl, listen, Caitlin, if you don't sit your strong face ass down, and girl, the blacks for Trump. Like, are you serious? Did you not understand that just during the Reagan administration, honey, we were dealing with the first COVID, bitch, and it was called the AIDS, and
and the crack epidemic. Y'all want to talk shit about Biden and the crime bill? Reagan started the motherfucking war on drugs.
Bitch, you want to sit here and talk about these things and not know your history on how we're dealing with this pandemic. But what about the pandemic that specifically you gays, that specifically targeted you? And you mean to tell me you over here like, oh, I'm just going to vote for them? Like, girl, they trying to do away with health care, all these things to give these rich people tax breaks.
Not just health care. They're trying to give you queers and you trans folks, they're trying to roll back protections where they say they ain't even got to fuck with you if they don't religiously fucking deal with you.
Yes, and it's just like, how are you going to base morality and religious freedoms in the same context? It's like, girl, listen, you want to sit up here and it's based off of religious freedoms. Christ ain't do that. Christ healed the sick. He fed the poor.
He ran with the riffraff.
With the riffraff. He was with the prostitutes and the sinners and things like that. Are you fucking crazy to sit over here and be like, well, Trump ain't no fucking Christian. He don't give a fuck about no Christian. That bitch brought his wife off of www.buymypussy.com. Is that bitch? Do that bitch? Is that bitch? Is she post or pre-op? What is she?
Because the bitch is sickening.
She's sickening, man. So my whole thing, it's just like, girl, why? It was just so. If you watch my last video up, down, it's like it was so baffling to me, and I'm like, colors. Did you not forget that before the Emancipation Proclamation, girl, you weren't even 1/3 of a person. You won't get your nappy-headed black ass up out there and vote this pussy nigga up out of this place? Are you crazy? Like, have you not forgotten that just 60 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, you couldn't even go to drink out the same water fountain as these people who are still in power?
Mm-hmm. You couldn't drink out the water fountain 60, 70 years ago. And then 67 years ago before that, they was fucking forcing you to feed their babies with your titties. Ridiculous.
And these are the people who are talking about religious freedoms acts and the morality of the country and pro-life. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about no life. So this is my thing. Once the lady have the baby and the baby's black, do you care about the child?
No.
Come on.
Let him grow up and shoot him when he's 12.
Over a bag of Skittles.
In a park with a toy gun.
Dog. And it's just like, how are you people not looking at the real moral standards of this country? This country was not built on the one nation under God indivisible. This country was built on the blood of indigenous people, which the land was taken from. It was not. How you gonna discover something? That's like a bitch come in my house and say, "I discovered this place," and put me out. Oh, I discovered here, and then tell everybody else that move in the bitch. You want to put down laws of the land like this yours? It's not even yours. It's not even yours.
Yeah. And then still other motherfuckers from some other land to come build this land up. And y'all want to support that? No. It
killed it. I sat and watched this stuff. And I was really tuned heavily into this election because I'm like, and those tea no shade. If those people told me they supported Trump, they got to unfollow me, block me. Don't. Ain't nothing you could tell me in that man's rhetoric, and that man's his entire cabinet was anti everything. And even if he didn't say it, the people he hired to represent him said. Mike Pence, well, how you gonna convert people from being fagos? They're gay. You're gay.
And then Betsy DeVos fucking defunding the whole education program. What? Does this make sense?
Ben Carson, you a brain surgeon. You don't know shit about HUD housing needs.
What? Fuck out of here.
And people that were really and don't get me started because me and Miss Mary get into a windmill battle. Baby, TBN is about to get cast out of here. You hoes sitting up there acting like y'all love Christ and love the Lord. Ain't shit about Donald Trump Christ-like. Nothing. That man ain't no fucking Christian. He much as a Christian as I am. And I love sucking dick. Married dicks too sometimes. He ain't no Christian. And Paula White got your motherfucking uniform ass up there and strike and from Africa and Africa.
The angels, angelic forces, the angels from Africa, the angels.
And listen, them real niggas came from Africa, told that, all right, bitch, you call us, here we go. We here now, so what's up? Blue.
Hold on, let's give that context too. Paula White was trained by T.D. Jakes. This magical sermon preaching white woman didn't just get that on her own. She was trained by T.D. Jakes. She came up she is a trainee of black male preachers. And that in the Christian, particularly black Christianity, They have multiple times in history sold the layman, the regular everyday black people out for money and the government. So they can, when we go back to like Ford, when Ford was trying to not get the workers to union, when Ford was trying to fuck over the workers, the regular working class people, they went to the black church to get them to tell their congregations to vote in favor of Ford instead of in favor of the people. It is multiple times that the black church has sold us out. So
and
they're
that's
going to create people like Paula White and blah, 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 that align with somebody like Donald
and
Trump.
That's why listen, I let my mama be in her room when she here watching TV and she can watch TV and I ain't got shit to do with it. You get what I'm saying? Because I when you growing up and you learning God and you loving God and you hearing the word, but you got to really see people for who they are when it gets down into political stances of stuff, because this is where the real them is located.
Right.
When it comes down to politicking and the way that you as a human being is treated.
Yep.
And you call yourself a Christian and you think that God would take food out of somebody's mouth. You think that God laid his hands on the sick and shut in, and you want to throw the sick and shut in out?
Want to cut the funding?
You want to cut the funding? The book talks about honoring thy mothers and thy fathers so that your days can be long. You want to take the elderly? You want to, like, y'all ain't, I'm like, y'all ain't looking at, the only thing y'all heard is about aborting the fetus. What about when the fetus get here? And you want to tell the person that, because the fetus is going to grow up to be a child and the child is going to grow up to be an adult. And you want to tell the adult that they don't have the right to love and marry who they want to, or you gonna not let them get seen by somebody who is a specialist in the heart field or in the brain or whatever ailments going on in their body because of the Religious Freedoms Act. I don't want to touch them because that's God don't like that. And you want to pass up, you want people that uphold laws like that. God wouldn't do that. Ain't nothing Christian about that. God would, the Jesus that I done learned about wouldn't do that.
No, not at all.
So when you really want to know the ins and outs of a person, talk politics to them. Yeah. See how they really feel about you.
Well, all right, Madison.
Yeah, because we'll do this. We'll be on it. We'll be on it in about 3 days.
I want to thank you for coming on. Just know, I don't know why somebody would ask you whether or not we were cool or not. Bitch,
well, they don't be knowing. You know, they don't be knowing. Child, they sure don't know. They think they hear me fussing and all the girls. I love all the girls and all the girls love me with the exception of 2. And even them 2 bitches is my fans.
Mimicking what I do.
Right.
Acting like people want to be them.
Right. Right.
But I've always admired you. I've always defended you. I've always seen your brilliance. I have always seen what you have given to the culture, and I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your growth. I appreciate this new stratosphere of where you are and what you're about to do. I'm gonna always be be there in your corner and support you.
Thank you. And sister, listen, I'm gonna always have my hand reached because I may have to call on you when I don't know how to say that, or I may have to call on you when I'm like, I'm stumped up for words. I'm punching you in the eye. My sister got a left hook. She gonna knock your ass out. So I'm gonna be punching your ass until I can get her on the line. Come here and hit this bitch, girl. I can't knock this bitch out. You can knock him out with that last blow. Woof. So know that this is how I feel about my girls. Like all of our fists are needed in the fight.
Absolutely. And
you my girl, and if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no, is this bitch recording? So I thank you, girl, for sitting up there talking to Jay. This is a full circle moment for me.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to tear it up with you Friday, December the 11th. Don't meet us there, bitch. Beat us there.
Right. Friday, December 11th, the Winter Gala.
A Winter Gala, honey. Bring your gowns and stuff, child. I'm coming.
Because we're gonna be big. We're gonna be cutting up and acting a fool, being the talented hood bitches that we are.
That we are. That's right. I'm coming naked. God damn it.
I ain't gonna be naked because I'm in auntie mode. I'm gonna be. My titties might be out.
My titties are so big over there. Damn, I thought my titties was big. God damn. You done had 2 babies around there. You breastfeeding, bitch, you.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Text me or call me after this, girl.
Yes.
All right. I love you here.
All right, darling.
Okay, bye.